think I told you this yesterday, one of the last times. There you go.
They're lying to me now. They've been lying to me my whole life. And the hour is late.
The hour is late, bruh. Yes,
It's 5 o'clock p.m. in Las Vegas, Nevada. 59 degrees and clear.
Yep.
It was actually a very beautiful day today.
Very beautiful indeed, Mr. Gilbo.
Welcome, everybody, to the Useless Eaters Show. Now, we are not useless eaters. We don't believe there's a such thing as useless eaters.
No.
But the globalists think that we are useless eaters. And
They think otherwise, Gilbo.
But the globalists, you're going down. I say
down.
Get out of the UN. Get out of the WEF. Get out of the, I don't know, maybe NATO.
Definitely NATO. The UN, NATO, World Health Organization, all of it. We need to be done. We need to be done. We need to be America first. We'll take care of ourselves. Thank you very much. And kindly just pay your own way and deal with your own shit because we don't need it. That's the way I see it. And then, get the Doge going and get all these people off of our junk. You know what I mean? Just stop, bro. We don't need this big government crap in our stuff there. Bannon was talking about that what is it? Modern monetary theory? Is that what it is? Is that the name of that? They're talking about?
Yeah.
5 watching right now. Identify yourselves, please. Hit the like button and share the broadcast.
Welcome everybody to the transmission. We are on X, we are on YouTube, we're on Rumble, and at some point we will go exclusive to Rumble only. The transmission. But just to start out, we wanted to spread our wings a little bit and make ourselves a little more available.
Copy strikes on YouTube for something that I paid the publishing for again?
Yeah, everything I do on YouTube, I get copy struck. But it's okay. They don't ban it entirely, especially since I changed the intro to that new cool techno.
That's
stuff.
Some sexy stuff right there, bro.
Yeah, and you add a little bit to it,
I like it. Yeah. It's very, very trancy. You know what I mean? It's like trancy. It's like It's like a jazz fusion porn thing or something.
I pulled that right off of YouTube, so
Well, they can't mess with us on that one.
That's right.
They cannot.
But in the middle of our intro, right before Alex Jones comes on and say, if you want to fight, or actually that music we play all the way through there that you licensed,
Yeah. Envato Elements, YouTube. Fuck off.
I think I might need to actually take the license and then print the license up on the screen during that, maybe. And maybe they won't be able to get me.
You know what, bro? I'll send it to you. I'll send you a copy of that. And if I have to re-up the license, I will. But you pay a yearly subscription to Envato, and you get a copy of the license. All the stuff is licensed, but you paid for it.
Not for anything, but what software did you use to create that intro? How'd you do that? How'd you get all that technical, the heartbeat thing, and how'd you build all that?
That was I just did that in iMovie, bro.
Nice.
And I did it there. You gotta get all of that stuff. The intro thing with the heartbeat, Envato Elements.
Okay.
The soundtrack up the hack on the underside of it, Envato. Okay. Alex Jones, there's no copyright on that stuff. You can post as much of that crap as you want. The rest of it's just us. And just some stuff that is public use that I pulled down, I might have to revamp it, put some new stuff in there.
I don't think any of that Alex Jones stuff's crap, man. I'd say I listen to Alex like a number of hours of the day. Even if it's a repeat, I'm still listening to him. And
man, you're always going to pick something else up.
Oh, yes.
Alex, I listen to the Three Musketeers. I got usually Harrison on. Sometimes lately I've been putting on a little Crowder in the morning for some levity. He's pretty funny. And if you've got Rumble Premium, you can get on the Mug Club too, my guy. He got away from going on locals, and he signed a deal with Rumble, and now he is Rumble Premium. If you've got Rumble Premium,
I've seen a
you've
few
got
of his
Mug
shows
Club.
now. Yeah, I've seen a few of his shows now.
His shows
Those
are great,
guys
man.
crack me up.
They're freaking hilarious, man.
So,
And dude, if you're watching Crowder, you know, and he's talking about a certain something, you know what I mean? He'll say all of the references are available at louderwithcrowder.com, and they are.
they have the receipts to back it
Oh,
up.
they've got the receipts. They've got the undercover thing. They've got a great research team. I mean, it's a big operation, man. I mean, let's be honest. It's a big operation, you know?
Yeah.
He's probably, you know, just off his subscriptions are probably getting, I don't even know what he's getting, you know, but if you pay for Rumble Premium and you know, he's getting a taste of whatever's coming across the $99 a year that you get when you go to Rumble Premium, you know what I mean?
You know, if we had a staff and a production team and all that, we could probably do a bunch of incredible stuff.
Well, you know, we'd have to get some more followers first, Gil. You know, there's got to be a demand. And
yeah, so hey, if this is your first time, hit that follow button. Let's see if we can get it to 91. We're getting ready this next month. We're gonna tip. We're gonna go over 100.
We're gonna go over 100, and
Yep.
yeah,
it's
so
time.
cheers to that.
I remember
We
when
need to
we
go over
wanted-
1,000, bro. We need to get like 40 people on here at a time and get some engagement in the chat. Other than FinFan, who I love dearly, FinFan.
Love
If
you,
you're
FinFan.
if you show up, that's great. We definitely appreciate all of your insight and
and
the stuff
participation.
and the participation, man. The dude is sending us stuff to talk about, and
So
he's doing like he's our field research guy.
So I don't know what happened, but today I was doing some work and I actually was able to recall. I was looking at a piece of paper and would look at like an invoice number and a name, and then I looked at a way to write it, and I actually recalled the whole number and the name. And I thought, something's happening. Something's happening in my brain. And I don't know if it's the ultimate CMOS that I'm taking daily now, or this new product from Dr. Jones Naturals called Sore Less Inflammation Support.
Oh, you're
Or
going in, huh, bro?
I went and got me some Nugenix testosterone multivitamin from another website, just because, hey. So I'm trying all three of these daily, but this morning I had 2 more brain cells firing. I don't know what happened, but I'll take it. I'll take 2 more brain cells.
I gotta get some of that CMOS, dude. I'm gonna get some of that.
I got 3.
You got the capsules or the gummies? The gummies are sold out.
I got the capsules. I got 3 more on their way, so I will not run out of those.
Oh, you're going after that tremor.
Yeah, and I got some more shirts coming too. Made a mistake the other day though, and I ordered the Occupy Mars, and I was looking at the order after the fact, and I ordered 2XL. So if I wrote him an email, if I end up with the 2XL, I'll have to find somebody larger to give that shirt to, because I'll be swimming in it.
I'm a pretty big fella. I'm an extra large though. At 2X is gonna be. I'll be swimming in that too.
Oh, well, we'll have to find. Oh, maybe we give it to Joe. There you go. Actually, he's lost a lot of weight. He's smaller now.
He's definitely not a 2X.
He's not 2XL anymore.
No.
All right. So I went to X the last couple days and bookmarked a couple of things. So I'm going to bring up this first one here, and we'll see if I can play it.
Oh, the lovely and talented Miss,
Almost equally important, maybe as important, is what we're doing to our children with this trans insanity. I mean, this is almost my single issue. We are chopping off the healthy body parts of young children without 100%. We are doing that.
Well, we are definitely doing that.
Without any inquisition.
That's what it is. So
into
I don't know
what's
what
happened.
the oohing is about.
I don't either. Pay attention, because I'm about to give you a truth bomb. Kids who are suffering from bullying, or who have been sexually assaulted, or who are going through normal puberty and feel uncomfortable in their bodies, will say to their parents, I'm not sure, maybe I'm gender confused. They will send them into a psychiatrist or psychologist who are told by our organizations, the American Psychiatry Association, and all the others that run their licensing, you must affirm. Affirm is the only standard. And so the child gets told, you're right, you are secretly a boy, or vice versa. And the child gets put on puberty blockers, into cross-sex hormones, which sterilize a child and deprive the child of any chance of sexual pleasure for the rest of his or her life. We're talking about 9, 10, 11-year-olds who cannot give informed consent. Then they have body parts chopped off by a medical establishment and by parents who mean well but believe in these doctors, and they shouldn't. And when they inevitably get past the awkwardness of puberty or what have you, and they want to turn around and detransition, those who love bomb them on Reddit saying, come on in, the water's fine, abandon them. They are depressed. They have changed their bodies forever in a way that is irreversible. And we are all sitting back saying, it's a remote issue, as Kamala Harris said. It's not remote. It's the issue of our time, both with respect to children and women's rights.
Well, let's back up a little on.
What was he backing up on, though? Women's rights? I don't know. Well, Gilbo, what are your thoughts on that, big guy?
Well, I think, we have a lot of laws in this country that start when you're 18. Like, you want to get a tattoo? 18. Or maybe your parents have to have to give you permission.
Nah, it should be 8. I know. Hey, listen, my tattoo guy, I am pretty well inked. He said even with parental consent, 18, he doesn't care. He says, I don't care if you're 16 and your mom's sitting right there. I'm going to say no. And believe me,
military service. We won't take 18. You till you're 18.
Voting. 18.
Voting. Cigarettes.
21.
21.
21. Drinking. 21. Weed. 21.
Why let something like and parental rights is one thing, but parental rights to experiment or to modify your child's physical body.
Listen, man, I don't know. Dude, here's where I stand on the whole trans thing. And this is just me, and this is just my opinion. I think it's a psyop. I think that there is a narrative being pushed, and I think that it is what I think. And again, maybe it's that maybe I listen to too much Alex Jones. Dude's right a lot most of the time. And, I did not hear this from him, so this is just strictly my thought, because we talk about the transhumanist movement, right? Where you've got the Yuval Noah Harari's out there at the World Economic Forum talking about, the human species will be irrelevant because of what they want to do with, say, Neuralink and stuff like that. No, I'm not saying that that's Elon's thing because that's his business, but he's trying to do it for the betterment of humankind. He's also a big advocate that we have too low of a birth rate, which I do agree with. I don't think there are he believes that there's too few people on the planet, not too many. So I'm not going to say that he is a globalist that wants to eliminate the human race. I think he wants to help the human race. I truly do. But I think, dude, it's just that psyop of planting those seeds and more people. I mean, the outrage is one thing. And I think that the people that are doing the psyop, the powerful elites that are pushing this psyop are grateful for the discourse about it because it's keeping it in the spotlight. Right. So, but again, it's about, making it to where, I don't know, gender's not a thing. Your sex isn't a thing. Nothing's a thing. I'm just a glob of cells, and I can be whatever I want to be. And I'm like, okay. And now it's like, okay, let me put this implant in my brain, and let me put this prosthetic bionic arm on me, so I can. You know what I'm talking about, bro? I mean, the transhumanist movement is a real thing that real people are really talking about. So I think it's just the trans thing, in my opinion, is all part of the long game for transhumanism. It's the beginning of the long game. Go ahead. I'll get out my tinfoil hat here in a minute.
Well, I mean, I guess what I want to say is people should be able to do what they want, but they should be old enough to and be mature enough to be able to make those decisions for themselves. And not have that decision forced on them.
Right. And again, it goes back. Listen, man, the bottom line is that you don't see a lot of, you see this, what's his name? Chase Strangio, the guy who's from the ACLU that's taking this case from Tennessee, to the Supreme Court about gender affirming care for minors. And, his belief is that at 2 years old, the argument is that a child knows their gender when they're 2 years old. No, they fucking don't. No, they don't.
Yeah.
And if you got, what's that? Rachel, the wonder, all the kids are watching on YouTube and all these things, and waving the trans flags and doing what they're doing. You know what I mean? It's like, it's just easing it into the brains. And then, you get old enough to get on TikTok and they're easing more bullshit into your brains because, they don't do anything to block these predator type freaking freaks. Jeffrey, what's his name on there? Dude, there's some creepy fucking shit out there, bro.
Really? I guess I just don't get out enough.
Oh, dude, I mean, it's just like, hi, kids. This guy who's clearly a gay man. Right on, bro. Live your life. I don't care. But, now he's big into the trans movement and he's accumulated hundreds of thousands of followers. And he's got a Patreon where he's like, hey, kids, if you want to talk to me personally, you can subscribe to my Patreon and we can talk about how you can, get the affirmation that you need, that you're trans and we love you just as you are. And it's like, it all comes across as this lovey-dovey fucking thing. But again, man, I agree with you, bro. 18, you can't really do anything until you're 18 legally as an adult, and even 21 in a lot of instances. So let's just make it, you want to get gender affirming care. I don't think there should be any government subsidies to pay for it. I don't give a fuck if you're in jail or if you're an illegal immigrant or what, we're paying a lot of that shit anyway. I don't think anybody's tax dollars should be going to that. If you want to go for that, you should do it. And then, if these doctors that are, it's all experimental surgery as it is anyway. I mean, you can remove breasts and stuff like that. That's one thing, but trying to create a vagina and create a penis that, they take a big chunk of your meat off of your leg or your forearm or something like that, dude. It's all experimental, bro. It's all experimental. I've seen, on X way too many people that are just, it's really experimental, dude.
Oh, I'm going to skip ahead because I saw there was a clip I had tonight. There was this gal, Benny Johnson had this clip on. And this is a gal her name's Joni Ernst, and she's really against Pete Hegseth, and I think she wants the role herself, but here's something she's got to say about.
So the example of transgender people serving in our military. We have transgender people serving in our military. They will bleed red just as the rest of us. But I also take a stance that we should not be integrating transgender people into certain situations where it does make, if you have a female barracks and you have a transgender woman who has not transitioned, we shouldn't make the rest of the unit uncomfortable about that setting. There are certain accommodations we can make for that transgender individual. But if they bring value to our unit, if they have specialties that we can use, especially if we want to maintain an all-volunteer force, we want to bring that talent into our services. And I know that's controversial, but again, I'm looking at what's good for our nation. And believe me, we're facing a recruiting challenge right now. If people are physically willing and able to serve our country, we want them to do so.
Okay. How I see this, Gil, what do you think about that?
Well, I think I don't think we should encourage that, hey, join the military and then we'll pay for all this surgery and all this transitioning stuff.
Well, of course.
But I mean, I don't know. I have a really strong opinion and I hold back because I
don't hold back.
Well, I think a man is a man. An X and Y chromosome is a man, and an X is a woman. And though you might be able to surgically do this or that, that's just the way you were born. And if you want to live your life as who you are, but sexually be who you want, you're behind closed doors. Keep it to yourself.
Listen. Point me to a trans person in the Air Force or any of the armed services that has a skill set that is truly making a difference, right? And you shouldn't have to. And again, making accommodations that are going to make a bunch of other people uncomfortable, to me, right there is a deal killer. It's a fucking deal killer. I'm a trans woman. It's ma'am. Okay, great. Good for you. You can't be in the fucking armed forces because, let's be honest, bro, it's a condition. Okay, so here's the deal. If you have gender dysphoria, which is a real thing, I'm not downplaying that at all. That should be a deal killer to getting into the armed forces. What benefit are you going to bring? What skill set are you going to bring? I mean, listen, the bottom line is that the military guys are trained to kill.
Mean, lean, fighting, killing machines.
That's what they're supposed to be. Bottom line.
Yeah.
Now, are you going to be a trans woman honeypot spy type thing and you want to go off and, be that kind of thing? Okay, great. That's the CIA. You know what I mean? Where they're fucking weird anyway. You know what I mean? So, and they're doing all these crazy fucking psyops all over the fucking world anyway, which in my opinion, the whole trans movement, again, gender dysphoria, in my opinion, is a true condition that should be a deal killer for anything that has to do with the government that we're paying their salary.
I mean, I think our military should be out there to kill.
Right.
That's what they're there for. And protect the United States of America. Come on.
Well, protect against all enemies, both foreign and domestic. Also, why do you think there is a recruiting issue, Joni Ernst?
Because of all this woke stuff.
Probably because of all the DIE stuff, bro.
Yeah.
That's why. Because people that have had, generations of their people before them that have gone in where they're like a military family and they all go in, all of a sudden, those guys are saying, no, guy, I think we should find something else for you to do.
Yeah.
Dude, the DIE stuff is and I say that intentionally.
Exactly.
The DIE stuff is what is causing the drought in recruitment for the armed forces,
and that's all something.
That's again my opinion, bro.
Yeah, and that's all something that the corporate, the ESG scores and the corporate, they're forcing all that crap on us. Let's quit funding those corporations. Let's spend our money somewhere else. All right, so here's a guy I love to follow, John Cullen, and he's not really the kind of guy that he is real social. He's not a super social guy. He's got his strong opinions about stuff, and he he gets focused on something and he can see the details. He can see the tree inside of the forest when you're looking at the picture. So he's been studying this whole COVID thing, and I know and he thinks that the whole COVID thing was just a cover for the H7N9 bird flu, and which we experienced, and the 4,000 deaths a day that we were experiencing during that whole time were really the H7N9 bird flu, and that COVID was just something that we released from Wuhan as the cover story. Anyway, I love listening to this guy, even though it's very cryptic and hard to understand. But let's go to this.
That I at least am not sure how this interplays with John Cullen's work. Where he has posited with considerable evidence, although enough of the evidence is sort of not available that it's hard to fully assess. But he has posited that SARS-CoV-2, while real, was not the thing making people sick, that it was bird flu all along.
Yes. H7N9.
Yes, not the same one,
right?
But bird flus being of a type, and there are a whole set of relatively closely related viruses, of which the one that he suggests was responsible for the deaths from COVID, in quotes, were actually deaths from bird flu H7N9, as opposed to this one now H5N1. But they are all relatively closely related. So I'm not saying that this is that, but that bird flu as a thing that is actually responsible for the pathogenicity is already an idea that's circulating in some careful intellectual space.
Yep. So that's why there may well be something to John Cullen's work on this. He does clearly have an evidentiary point that it's worth considering.
Oh.
Yeah, so I don't hear this anywhere else, and so when I listen to and look at all the stuff he puts out, and there's so much research he's done, and the videos he goes through are so fast that it's hard to really take it all in. But
dude, he's also pretty spicy on X.
He is. He's got some strong opinions. Well, he's the one who investigated the shooting, the October shooting in Las Vegas.
Here. Yeah. October 1. Yeah. And then he also had some, and other people have brought up his findings with the Butler, PA shooting.
He still thinks that we're not paying attention, that the official narrative is to downplay this rather than expose that there were additional shooters there.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And it's like Brett just said, man, it's compelling to say the least. I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I'm just saying, well, wait a minute. What about, I mean, you got guys like Eli Crane and that other congressman. What was it? What's his name?
I just watched that recently too.
Yeah, about John Collin, and they brought it up in a House hearing. You know, we got to take a look at what he's saying here. If you look at the trajectory of these shots and this shot and that shot, and it's like, wait a minute, that didn't come from the same gun that shot at Trump.
Yeah,
it's just not possible. So, yeah, John Cullen's raising some eyebrows, to say the least. You know,
so I mean, we got there's been so many new nominations that are coming down, but this is one for Billy Long, a former auctioneer, to be commissioner of the IRS.
What?
So one other thing, being an auctioneer in Congress, the way our debt is running out of control, they find it very handy to have Jeff Duncan and myself here in Washington. We are one of the few people that can actually keep up with the national debt. I'm going to tell you, 2 trillion now, 3 able to buy them, 3 trillion now, $4 trillion, 5 trillion, 6 trillion, 7 able to buy them, 7 trillion, 8 trillion dollars, 9, 10, 11 trillion down here, 12 trillion, 13, able to buy them, you're out of here, 13 trillion, 14 trillion now, 15, I have sold it 14 trillion. Thankfully, Mr. Speaker, we also can say those numbers backwards, so when we get the spending under control here, I'll be back.
Did this guy just get elected?
He's just got nominated by Trump, a former auctioneer, to be commissioner of the IRS.
Commissioner of the, what's his background, man? Just being an auctioneer? How's that a background? Well, I mean, I'm with.
Well, he's in Congress as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure he is. He's
Billy Long. We'll have to check that guy out.
Yeah, for real, man, for real. I mean,
he can say those numbers backwards, so we can get the debt to go the other way.
Let's do it. Get that spending under control, my guy.
So, you know, nobody like Fauci. I have a thing of Fauci I'll play later, but this guy here is diabolical. And when I listen to him, he chuckles when he says this. This guy.
Are we talking about Fauci?
No, the new Fauci, the Dr. Hotez. This guy is diabolical, and he's telling us to the day. How can he say to the day that this is going to happen this way? Just like Fauci was saying, yeah, Trump, in your administration, you're going to have, a surprise. Like how can they predict the surprise? And this guy just chuckles during his whole presentation. Check this Hotez creep out.
Here's the reason why we need to care about this stuff, Nicole, is that we have some big picture stuff coming down the pike starting on January 21st. Mr. Bloomberg mentioned H5N1. That I'm really worried about. It's all over wild birds on the western part of the United States and going up in the north. It's getting into the poultry. We're seeing sporadic human cases, no human-to-human transmission yet, but that could happen. It's in the cattle, it's in the milk, and that's just the beginning. We have another major coronavirus likely brewing in Asia. We've had SARS in 2002, SARS-2, COVID-19 in 2019. And we know these viruses are jumping from bats to people thousands of times a year. But there's still more. We know that we have a big problem with mosquito-transmitted viruses all along the Gulf Coast, where I am here in Texas. So we're expecting dengue and possibly Zika virus coming back, or a Puche virus, maybe even yellow fever. And there's more. Then we have all this sharp rise in vaccine preventable diseases going up because of, in part, the anti-vaccine activism that's so prominent right now. We have a 5-fold rise in pertussis cases, whooping cough over the last year, 15 measles outbreaks this year. We've got polio that's been in the wastewater in New York State. All that's going to come crashing down on January 21st on the Trump administration. We need a really, really good team to be able to handle this.
I don't like this guy at all.
No, listen now. I don't think he means that stuff's going to drop on January 21st. It's like on January 21st, his first day in office, Trump's going to have to deal with all this stuff, is what he's saying. Now, I'm not a fan of him either, and I'm not trying to stick up for the guy, but I know that everybody's saying it. He's calling that it's all going to go down in these days. No. That's not what I took away from what he just said.
That's a good point.
I think he's like, now on January 21st, it's all going to come crashing down. Well, I mean, doesn't Bill Gates have genetically modified fucking
yeah. Didn't he release mosquitoes all over? Yep.
He's releasing them everywhere. So, I mean, come on, dude.
And they've been culling the chickens like crazy. I mean,
dude, believe me, I know. I buy chicken every week. You know what I mean? And it's eggs are up and down. I mean, 3 weeks ago, I was getting eggs for, I don't know, a case of eggs, 15 dozen or eggs for $45. The next week, 88.
Whoa.
Yeah. Almost doubled in a week. And they're still up there, you know? So, you know, I mean, it's
I love the way he puts so much fear into it. Our milk is bad, our meat is bad, our poultry's bad.
Well, dude, again, it's
watch out, folks.
It's the narrative that they want to spin, that we've got to just, you know, stop with the cows because they're farting and they're causing climate change, and stop with the poultry because you're going to die. You know what I mean? And eat the bugs, bro. Eat the bugs. You can eat the bugs.
So this next one here, I don't know if we have time to play this whole thing, but I'm telling you, I'm going to skip ahead to it. I mean, it's long, but I found it. I'm going to play some of it, and then we'll go back. We can all go back and watch it ourselves later.
Well, just go pop in and out. Let's pop in and out. Oh, James.
On the ground, we're now 50 days after the hurricane here, and we're talking to some of these officials on the ground about what it's like, the rebuilding efforts, after we spoke to the FEMA whistleblower about how bureaucrats are not helping out.
Number one goal of FEMA is to instill equity in emergency management. It's not to save lives.
We want to find out who is helping out and what's actually going on. What are you guys doing in the suits?
We are cleaning out the crawl space of this house, all of the mud that was swept in. Mm-hmm. This is the first step that you need to take in order to dry out the house before you can start the repairs. Otherwise, you have all of the potential toxins in the mud, and it also stays too damp, so it would go moldy. So you have to clean this out before you're able to do the repairs and allow the homeowners to move back in.
And what are you finding in the house? What are you seeing?
I mean, this area was completely devastated.
Is the government paying, FEMA paying you guys?
No, we're a nonprofit NGO, so we're funded by private donations and foundation funding.
My name's Daily. I live in Swanano with my kids.
I see you got the hazmat suit on. Do you live in one of these places here? Or?
Yeah, this is my house.
This is your house right here?
Yeah, I'm just wearing this because I'm removing my flooring and there's mold and stuff, insulation.
Has FEMA come to help you? Has the government helped you?
No, they haven't helped me yet.
I mean, where are you living right now?
I'm in a hotel. FEMA has helped me with a hotel. They paid for my hotel.
FEMA paid for a hotel?
Yeah, but I have one more day. And then.
One more day? Yeah. And then what are you going to do?
Live in that tent.
You're going to live in that tent?
It's a tent with a stove, a wood stove in it.
Oh.
Yeah, me and my kids will go there.
What do you think about that?
I don't like it, but it's better than nothing.
At least
I want to be on my property so I can be here every day rebuilding my house.
observe what's happening with your house. And
Well, not observe. I'm the only one doing anything.
you're doing the work.
Yes.
You're doing the work rebuilding your house.
Yes.
Is anybody helping?
Carpenter's down there.
Oh, you're so.
He doesn't live here though.
Is there anyone helping you do this
No,
work?
not yet.
Just
People
you.
have said they would, but nobody's showed up yet.
Nobody's showed up yet. And these materials, do you buy them yourself? Does someone provide them to
I'm
you?
buying them myself.
With your own money?
Yes.
That's unbelievable. So Daly just told us that this is her home, and she has 1 day left in the hotel, and then she's going to come and live in this tent. They're building these tents right next to the house. You guys are helping build a tent?
Yes.
And who are you guys with?
Savage Freedom.
Savage Freedom. Who provides the material? Who provides this tent?
Generosity of a whole bunch of people, man.
However long it takes with FEMA, I'm hoping they come through and give me some money to pay for the rebuild of my house.
Reimbursing you or something?
They said it's destroyed. They said so I'm eligible to get up to 47 grand to replace my house, but they haven't come through. It's been 2 months, and I can't wait in the winter and the cold anymore. So
I think FEMA as an organization it operates exactly as it's designed. It is a bureaucratic organization that justifies its existence by sitting on its funding, and it doesn't really function the way it's earmarked to function.
Bro.
So that's worth watching, that entire, and he's got another part 2 coming out soon.
James O'Keefe is awesome. Dude, didn't Biden just give $1 billion to
exactly
Africa?
He's over in Africa like $1 billion for you.
I mean, to help the African communities that have been, devastated by some kind of weather thing. Oh, but Africa, I'm not saying they don't need the help, bro. We could use some help. We could use some help here. We had an earthquake today. Nothing really happened, I don't think.
Well, that we know of. I over what 7.0 over.
Yeah, it's a pretty big one.
Humboldt County.
Yeah. All that weed up there. No, but that just irks me that this person's trying to save her home. They said they were going to trash it, and then they offered her 47 grand. I know, granted, it was a mobile home, but it's her home, and nothing for her. But he cut some deal with Africa.
Yeah.
And we're still paying for all of the hotel rooms in New York for the illegals, right?
Yeah, right. Well, at least they are paying for her hotel room until the next day.
Tomorrow.
She had one more day, right?
Yeah, whenever that is. So today, if that was out today, that's one. So she's
in the tent.
She's in the tent after that.
Yeah.
But we're paying the Roosevelt Hotel, the whole hotel, for the migrants that came across the border.
The illegal
immigrants.
That's right.
But
yeah, this video goes on. I mean, I was only 5 minutes into it. Later on, there's a few other real heartfelt, people just talking about like, hey, we pay taxes our whole lives. This has been devastating. This was like 100 Niagara Falls that just washed through this community all at one time. And it's devastating.
And we're giving money to the Roosevelt Hotel. And we're and Africa. Oh, and let's not forget about funding, wars.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's rush a few more billions and billions off.
I believe they did do that right after he pardoned his son.
So I'd encourage you to go check out this OMG, the O'Keefe Media Group, and check out the rest of that video. I saw.
Unbelievable, man.
So, have you heard much about this guy? I think its name is Daniel Penny.
Oh, yeah.
In New York.
Did they come to a verdict yet? I haven't even been paying attention. I was cranked up all day today.
I don't think so. But this is the crime. Of course, we don't see everything that happened before, but this person was on this subway train. If you've ever been on a subway train, you've ever been on a subway car in New York, when those doors close and you're moving down the track, you're a captive audience. Like,
you are.
You're not going anywhere. You're in that car with the
human
moment. Beings. You're in there, and
in a tube.
Oh, and I don't think I brought the clip up, but the mayor Adams of New York is siding with Daniel Penny. He says, "Hey, I've ridden the subway before. That's our job to take care of people like that, and we weren't there, and we didn't take care of it. And thank God you stood up and protected those people." But this is
the funny thing is he's turning a corner. That guy. What's his name? The mayor. New York?
Mayor Eric Adams. He's the one that's under investigation. He needs a pardon.
Well, yeah, but he's coming around, bro. You know what I mean?
Sure
he was
is.
coming around. You know, as soon as it was funny when he first started talking about we got to do something about this illegal thing. I think it was somebody on Alex Jones went, he will soon be indicted for something.
And he
sure
was.
Enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure enough, man. Maybe it was Bannon, somebody, or maybe it was Bongino. One of those guys just go, this guy's going to get indicted for something. And then, of course, here the shit hits the fan. So, you know, because he's like, we got to do something about this stuff. And he wants to talk to Tom Homan, and he wants to talk, and he wants to talk, and he wants to talk. And I liked when he said the other day, yeah, go ahead and cancel me, man. I don't care. You know?
That was a good one. Adams is he's definitely trying to turn over a new leaf. That's for sure.
Trying to do something, man. You know, listen, it's good. It's good. But, you know, I mean, let's just be honest. A little too late there, big fella.
Yeah,
you know, he was like, open doors, come on down.
He's going to cut off. He's going to cut off the funds, and we're going to see all hell break loose in New York.
Well, dude, let me tell you something, man. All of these mayors, Boston, Denver, Chicago, Illinois, I guess the governor, and all these sanctuary, California. Listen, you're going to see all of these mofos, these illegals migrate to those areas because they think they're going to be protected.
You know, I listened to something the other day about that, and I know we talked on our last transmission. The problem is what's going to happen is all these, if we let these people gather in these sanctuary cities or these sanctuary states, they're going to change the congressional districts.
Yep.
And they're going to, and it doesn't even matter if any of these people vote. It just matters that they're physically there, because then they're going to hit the census, and then they're going to say, well, we need more Congress. We need more seats in Congress to be able to accommodate all these other humans. And that's where the real control, that's why they said if Trump didn't win this election, that we might never see a Republican ever again in the presidency, because they would just continue to do this replacement migration and change all of the numbers and be able to just bring in all these, you know, more Democrats to control everything. Oh, I don't understand it all, but I say we gotta, Tom Homan's got a lot of work cut out for him. That's for sure.
Oh yeah.
All right. So this is a cut from Bannon's War Room with Julie Kelly today.
Talk about, you know, we had on this morning to talk about giving pardons, mass pardons for all J6. He said on Jesse Kelly last night, you know, the Buck and Clay show, Clay Travis, and Clay was he said, hey, look, what these guys did pales in comparison to what's been done by the Justice Department. He threw down hard. He said even some of the violent guys. He said, in fact, all the violent guys. So we had him on this morning. It was great. You've been following Graves. Correct me if I'm wrong. Did they actually arrest somebody today for January 6th?
They arrested someone today, a man from Florida. They arrested a man from Alabama yesterday. As you and I talked on Monday, they started 3 jury trials on Monday. This Monday, they're starting 3 more jury trials. A few days ago, Judge Danny Friedrich, one of our favorites who we keep highlighting, sentenced a man who basically did the same thing Ray Epps did, with the exception of going into the building, sentenced this man to 71 months in prison for allegedly interfering with law enforcement and other silliness. They charged this man from Alabama the other day for taking a swing at a DC Metro police officer with a flagpole now almost 4 years ago. So Matthew Graves, the Biden apparatchik, whose wife is very close with the Biden with the Bidens and Kamala Harris. She's been at the Biden White House at least 40 times since her husband was appointed DC U.S. Attorney by Joe Biden. And he continues to round up, charge, put on trial, sentence, and force plea deals on J6 defendants as the clock winds down to January 20th.
Haven't they gotten the word in the Justice Department that one of the topics we ran on was full pardons for the J6ers? I mean, what is this? Is this normal behavior? Is this just up in your grill? This is an interregnum where you're supposed to make a transition. They know where we stand on this. Are they trying to be up in President Trump's grill? Are they trying to be up in MAGA's grill on this topic?
Absolutely. I mean, Matthew Graves is going to shove this in the face of Donald Trump and his supporters and incoming administration as long as he possibly can. And of course, this includes Merrick Garland and Lisa Monaco. In fact, a few days after Trump won, according to a report by NBC News, top DOJ officials told prosecutors handling these J6 cases, you are to proceed business as usual. The election results have no impact on what's happening in the DC courthouse. And of course, the judges are going along with it. What Matthew Graves argues is that there's a public interest in continuing these trials. You know, Dabney Friedrich also denied a motion filed the day after the election by a man who was set to go on trial the following week. So he went on trial November 13th. His attorneys argued in an emergency motion to postpone the jury trial based on the results of DC's lopsided voting in the presidential election, 93%, again, for Kamala Harris. So this defendant said, basically, we can't get a fair trial in Washington. And furthermore, disgruntled DC voters might take it out on this particular defendant. We need to postpone this trial. Dabney Friedrich, again, denies that motion, says, oh, no, we'll have a very selective jury process, right? That lasts a day. She picks a jury a week after the election in one day, 12 jurors, 2 alternates. Guess how long it took them to convict this man on all counts with the exception of one? A day.
A couple hours?
And there you go.
A day. Yeah,
less than
outrageous. Talk about, we had.
Yeah, so full steam ahead for Biden's DOJ.
I guess, man. That sucks.
Yeah, it sure does. I hope that I hope it's a full pardon for everybody and everything to do with J6.
I know that recently I saw a quote that he's going to take each one of those cases on a case-by-case basis, and it should just be a blanket. It's just, come on. All those guys, the Oath Keepers, the freaking Proud Boys, come on. 20 years? They did nothing.
Yeah.
They did nothing. It wasn't even there.
So there was that...
Stuart Rhodes was trying to tell people not to go in there. I mean, come on.
Yeah. And I mean, we still don't have all the real, the real truth and the real facts about the whole thing. Was a setup. It was a Fedsurrection. It was instigated. The doors are open. People are invited in. There's so many crimes that were committed that day by our own government on the people.
Well, hopefully, they're coming hard at Cash. They're coming hard at Pete Hegseth. They can say it's all Saul Alinsky, and they're going to pick them off one by one. They got Gates pretty early on,
Well, I'd like to thank those that were watching us on YouTube and X. We're just going to go exclusive on Rumble. So move on.